building up towards 8 streams, but I currently only have like 3 that are actually generating income.
Chloe, thank you very much for hopping on this video with me. Really glad that you're here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So Chloe, before we move on, the topic of our video today is that how a real estate agent can have multiple streams of income. And when I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking about this because the craziness that's going on. And this makes the income for real estate agents quite unpredictable because they don't know if they can go out in the field, they can prospect and do all that kind of stuff. So, but on the flip side, they still have to put food on the table. So when I searched your profile, I started going through your profile. You were a real estate agent and now you are an investor and you make good amount of money. I'm not going to put it out there how much you do or not. I would really be interested in going over how your journey started as an agent, then how you had multiple streams of income. But before we get into that, I'd really love for you to explain or go ahead and basically tell us about who you are, your background, and then we can take it from there.
In 2014, I became a real estate agent in New York City. I think my license was with the company Cohen. It's a great company, good branding. And so I wanted to hang my license with them. But because my background was in digital marketing and technology, I very quickly was able to land a developer as my first client. So I sold new development pretty much, primarily. That's what I was selling. And then when 2020 hit, I realized that having just one stream of income was very dangerous, whether it was, like offering digital marketing for real estate companies with my company Brick, or just being a real estate agent working with people moving and buying and selling and all of those kind of things. And so I diversified, and I actually diversified out of state as well. But what I did was I am building up towards 8 streams, but I currently only have like 3 that are actually generating income, but I'm trying to get there with all 8 of them. So I just took a look at my life and I decided for myself, I'm getting into like how I diversified. But so quick background, I'm a real estate agent, a real estate investor, and I started this community called HI with Chloe because I think that we have so much emphasis on AI, which is artificial intelligence, and we need to remember that we are human intelligence and humanity is on this earth for a purpose, that we are souls having an experience and we need to live our soul purpose, and we can make money while we do it. We don't have to run off to Tibet to meditate all day. We can actually live a full, fulfilling life in the corporate jungle but incorporate these spiritual practicalities to make sure that your life is balanced and whole. So I have HI, it's called highhumanity.com, and I do group coaching for people who want to learn how to become an investor or Airbnb or how to balance out their crazy corporate life. Okay. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, there's a lot there that we want to dissect, obviously. So there's 2 aspects that I know, that you were an agent, then you became an investor and you had multiple streams of income. But on the flip side, you also do, group coaching, and you also teach you kind of have that spirituality thing going on, and, meditation and all that to make yourself more productive. Now, I know as an agent and then running multiple streams of income, it's really, really hard. So I think my audience, they would love to kind of, tap into your life, how you are managing all this stuff. But before we go on to that, I want to start from the start. So in 2014, you became a real estate agent, and then how long did you continue as a real estate agent, and how did you land your first client?
Okay, so I landed the first client because of my background in marketing and tech. I saw him standing outside of his development site and I just started talking to him. I didn't ask him to list with him. I didn't try to get his business right away. I just befriended him, sent him useful information that could help him with his project, told him about the trends that I saw going on with currently in interior design and how he should be focusing and things of that nature. And then eventually I was like, listen, I'm an agent with Corcoran. And so I did bring on a more seasoned agent with me on my first deal. So I went to somebody in the office who was much older than I was and much more experienced. And I said, hey, do you want to partner with me on this deal? We go 50-50, but you get to have the experience and I bring the client. And so a lot of people do that. And so that was how I started with real estate. And I never stopped being an agent. I believe I still have my license. active. It's just that I don't. So here's the thing, right? When you want to open up multiple streams of income, it's very important for you to be in touch with your soul. And I know you want to get into meditation later, so I'm not going to bring it up now, but you have to listen to your intuition and know who you are as a person and what your strengths and weaknesses are. So whether you take the Myers-Briggs test, the Enneagram test, whether the DISC test, there's a million tests that you can test out your personality. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you're working with. If you buy a new laptop, you learn all the tricks of the laptop, how to work the hardware, how to work the software, what to do with the laptop, correct? Yeah. Same thing with yourself. You need to know who you are, understand your brain, understand your soul, understand your personality, and then work with your strengths and work with your weaknesses. And so, me switching over and adding in coaching is because I have a deep desire to help people. And so if you're a real estate agent, you're a wheeler and a dealer, and you're just coaching because you're trying to make more deals, maybe it'll translate, maybe it won't translate, but a lot of people are doing that and they charge like $20,000 to $40,000 to do coaching. I'm not doing that. I'm charging about $1,500 for coaching because I want people that, like average people, to have access to this because I care. And so you have to tap into who you are and understand your personality. I have a friend who hates teaching. And so you can't force yourself to do things just because you think it's right. You have to do what feels right for you.
Now, before we shift into coaching and all that kind of stuff, but before that, how long were you a real estate agent? Because there's a lot of people in our industry.
From 2014.
2014, you've been working, but then when did you get into coaching?
So coaching actually started now in 2020 because 2020.
Just cutting you off there, and this is what I wanna drive home is that agents or people who come in and they just do their job for a year or so, and then they become coaches all of a sudden because they find that that is something that may be more easier for them to do. It's a lot easier teaching people instead of being a real estate agent because it's hard. You and I, we know that it's hard. So I mean, you stood it out there. You did the work for 6 years, and then you really found out, okay, maybe the skills that I have, I can help other people out with my coaching program.
Yes, 100%. I didn't want to be a coach because I was embarrassed because everyone's a coach and a guru and an influencer. And I'm just like, what did you actually do? You're teaching other people to do things you've never done. I'm 35 years old. I started my first company at 21. I have experience. I know what I'm doing. And, the biggest reason why I decided F it, let me just do it, even though it feels so embarrassing to be to be a coach, I'm doing it mostly because I have so many friends who are like, oh, is this a great deal? I'm like, did you run the numbers? What are the numbers? Like, oh, I don't know. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And so I actually really want to help. And, there's a lot of women that go through a divorce and they haven't worked since they were 19 years old and they have no idea what to do with their money. And they got some money out of the divorce. They've never lived on their own. They never had a job, had to start over. And so, I'm catering to these women. You don't have to become a real estate investor, but you should be able to learn your finances and how to invest your money and just how to take care of yourself and kind of self-manage. So it's more about that. So I think if a real estate agent was only an agent for a year and then she decides to coach, it's probably a business model and not an actual coach.
Exactly. And so you told me, we had a brief discussion before that. You told me that when you started out, you sold. How much was the collateral, the value of the contracts you did with your first client? So how many have you sold in terms of numbers?
So the first year was 15 million, and it was
that was just your first year you became an agent.
Yes. But I got very lucky because I had the background in marketing and interior design, so I was able to really bring a lot of value to the developer. And it was a brand new building and it was 11 units. But it took a long time. It takes time until they finish breaking ground and building the building until went to market. But it was a long story. But
in real estate, it takes, the one who's listing, it's a huge value, it's building or whatever, it's a huge value. And someone who's buying, maybe it could be the biggest transaction of their life. So obviously they're going to take their time. And that's something that that a lot of agents don't understand. They come into it as thinking that's going to be freedom. They're going to be working on their schedule, but when they actually come in and find the reality, like they have to go on showings, and then they're getting called at night and whatnot, they find themselves trapped. That's why when we see the stats, 90% of realtors quit within the first 2 years, and that probably could be because they don't have the right mindset getting into that. And I love that you said, okay, there was a guy who had a building. I went to him, I started talking with him and giving him some ideas instead of pitching him. But the most important thing is you actually took action. You took action, you got to that guy, you started talking with him, giving him free value, and then you told him, okay, you know what, I'm an agent, I can help you out with this stuff, do you want in? And sure enough, you got the deal.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
Right. So let's move forward from there. So right now, about your coaching program, about your coaching stuff.